Good morning, how are we doing?
Alright, how are you?
What an epic journey that was. Goodness me. Dropped something off at... Right, good morning, or hello. I am here with Andrew at A Digital in his podcast studio. Bit of a treat for me. I just thought I'd come and gate crash his little pad here, which is very, very cool. Just to make a point, we are both follically challenged this morning. Neither of us have got our hair pieces on.
Must be something to do with the traffic we've had to find.
we have endured we've lost an hour, I said earlier, didn't I, of our lives, which we'll never get back, because we both come from different directions. And it would have all been made easier, well, for me anyway, if we'd come on bikes. But anyway, that aside, Andrew is going to ask me my Fred Whitton questions. So, into the questions. Right, well, I've sent you the questions, Andrew, so you might not be familiar with these unless you've watched, well, of course, everybody watches the channel. So you'll have seen Helen's questions and Simon's questions and Rory's questions.
Yeah.
I was joking, no pressure. Right, anyway, I'll let you be the question master.
Alright, here we go. So, first question. How many Fred Whittons have you done, and was there a particular ride that stands out?
Right, well, I've actually entered, I thought of this last night, because I have them all written on my yoga mat, all the times. I've written on my yoga mat 4 times. I actually entered it 5 times, but I hurt my knee, so I couldn't take part in it. But the most memorable one is probably going to be the first one, whereas when I got to Winlatter and I saw my wife, I thought I was going to cry because I was so in the hurt locker. It was just unreal.
You hit the wall. It
was completely taking me by surprise, not done anywhere near, as Simon referred to in the previous podcast. Nobody ever does enough training. So I hadn't done enough training. I was thinking about it too much. I'd gone up a hill which I'd probably only been up maybe once before on a road bike. And yeah, so the first one was the worst, but it was also the best because at the end my legs came alive and I loved it. So the first one was the worst and the best one.
And you get that huge sense of achievement, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great, sounds good. So second question then, which of the following do you pay most attention to leading up to and during the Fred?
I've actually written some blurb down on my notes here, and I've asked this question to other people and wondered what on earth am I asking this question for, because it's a bit of a funny question, because the question that I asked Helen, she said about training and time on the saddle, that isn't the answer to the question, because the question was pacing, nutrition.
Yeah, I've just realised I've missed the end off.
Yeah, well, no, it's fine. Well, it's pacing, nutrition and tech.
Pacing or tech.
Yeah. The tech is the one that I always worry about, because on the day I can control what I try and eat, but my body usually doesn't let me. The pacing, I'm a bloke, I always go out too hard too fast, not like Helen who negative splits everything and sets off slow and gets faster as the day goes on. The tech is the one bit that I can sort of control. I always clean my bike and I lube the chain and I make sure there's enough air in the tyres. After that, it's a bit of a lottery, and everybody's in the same boat, so I don't concentrate on anything except the thing that I know I can control, which is making sure my bike looks and feels right, and the rest is into the hand of the cycling gods.
Yeah, I guess with an event like that, there's always going to be a group of people with a puncture, a chain snap.
Yeah, well, I've been on an event before where it was actually the last Fred Whitton I did. The week after, there's a Yorkshire version of it, and I was on for an absolutely fantastic time because I'd got good legs from the following event with the week before in the Fred, and I was flying. And then a guy had a crash and I lost 20 minutes. It's not his fault he had a crash. I had to stop for him. I felt like I had to stop. Other people stopped, and the time was still ticking.
Yeah.
You know, the clock starts when you set off and it finishes and ends when you stop. And that clock was ticking, and I sacrificed what I thought was going to be this amazing time. So that was out of my control.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
Okay, so moving on then, question 3. What is your favourite on the bike food?
I keep referring back to Helen. Helen said she's an absolute font of knowledge and she's done so much, but she said nothing too sugary, which I sort of agree because it gets a bit sickly and your hands get sticky and your pockets get sticky of sticky wrappers. I tried, after listening to a canoe, believe it or not, a canoe podcast, this guy who canoed around the UK and he used chorizo and he blew the budget on chorizo because it's the fat.
Wow.
Can't really. I tried pepperoni. It's the pepperoni savoury thing that you put in your back pocket. That didn't really work. So peanut butter sandwiches.
Peanut butter sandwiches.
Or what do they call the Americans call it? Jelly. Well, you put strawberry jam in. Jam and jelly, is it? What do they call it? I've written it down. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly sandwiches. So that works.
Well,
I can stomach it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can stomach it.
And a tip as well, if you make your sandwich, put it on your kitchen worktop and get a rolling pin. You can flatten it down, it takes up less space, you can stick another one in there, and you can probably get 3 in the same space as an whole one. Anyway, that was a tip from another cyclist.
If you can manage 3.
Kendal. Yeah, if you can stomach 3. It was a big day out, I'm sure you can manage.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so question 4 then. What's your favourite or worst part of the route? I.e. the climb, the view, or anything else?
I love the bit where you get to Sellafield on a good day and it all opens up and you know you can't go any further and the only way from there is home.
Right.
But arguably that is also the worst bit because you've ridden over cold fell, you've probably had a headwind and it might not be sunny and lovely and you might not feel like you can ride back from there. So it's all a beautiful route.
Yeah.
It's amazing countryside. Like Simon said in his interview, the West Coast is really sort of dumbed down a bit. People put a bit of a negative spin on it. It's run down, it's more industrious. It's pretty and it's quiet. So if you're on a good day, if you can get out to the West Coast on the Fred and have blue skies, I think for everybody that'll probably be one of the best bits. But yeah, for me, seeing Sellafield, wow, I've come a long way. I wouldn't usually come this way. Let's turn round and sort of head back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's over hard not on rhinos, but
I was going to say, yeah, you've got
no bleed down as well. Yeah, there's a couple of little lumps in the way, but yeah, it is. It's a magical route. The whole of it is fantastic.
Great stuff. So question 5, what's been your best time?
Right, well...
So you've done four Fred.
Yeah, if you call them successful. So this is bearing all now. And it's feels a little bit awkward saying this, because for someone who has done quite a bit of biking, the times aren't fantastic. But, well, to answer your question, the fastest time, for me, is 8 hours and 24 minutes. And that was just a normal run. It wasn't, I think it was really cold that year. But previously, I've done, did I say 8 minutes 24?
8 hours.
Sorry.
8 hours.
So 8 hours 24.
8 minutes would have been impressive.
8 minutes would have been ridiculous. So that was 2019 where I did 8 hours 24. 2017 I did 8 hours 48. 2012 I did 9 hours 22, and then my very first one I did in 2009, which was 9 hours 19. And I can categorically say I will go sub 8 hours this year by not stopping at the feed zones. Okay. There is so much time lost. Certainly the first one, Buttermere, you have to park your bike up at a place on the side of the road where there's a gap in the fence because there's all these other 2,500 cyclists trying to do the same thing.
Right.
You have to then negotiate the streams of people that aren't stopping, blasting through, like the Kendal CC group and Helen and all that gang that are on a flyer. Get across, queue for your banana and your cut up orange, which you would not normally eat on a cycling sportive or a big ride anyway, and get your bottles filled up and then get back across the traffic to find your bike, to lift it back over the fence or wherever you've parked it, to get on it and then ride up Newlands. And that to me is where the time is lost in the feed zones. That is out of the control of the organisers because they are restricted on where they can do it, and that is a suitable place and I suppose a safe place. The traffic is fairly minimal and the speeds are fairly low. But that to me is where I'm going to gain my first 20-minute loss. So I will, hopefully, my best time is this year. Yeah.
So you'll be looking at trimming about an hour off if you've got a few.
Yeah, well, there's two feed stops. So there's Calder Bridge and there's Buttermere. If I can get a bottle refill and some fuel from somebody at the top of Windlatter, i.e. my wife and son, that hopefully will get me through to Calder Bridge, where then I might just get a bottle filled up. But like anything, I'm going to have to go and try it, guinea pig it, and see if I can do it not on the day, have a trial run and see if I can get around. But yeah.
And load up on the jam and jelly.
Absolutely. And then hopefully, if I save all that time, I don't have a mechanical, because of course I could save all that and then have a mechanical or a puncher. But anyway, so yes, 8 hours 24 is the answer to that question.
Excellent. So, final question then. Have you any gems, cycling secrets or advice that you could share to help me and future Fred Whitton Challenge riders in preparation for the next big ride? I don't think I'm going to be riding the Fred anytime soon.
No, but you could maybe aim to ride it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, off that, you could actually ride it. They do a 4 seasons version, so you don't have to ride it on the day. You could ride it anytime you want, and I'm not sure if you pick up a dibber or, in fact, Rory Black, who you know, he has actually put an app together, I think, in collaboration with the Fred Whitton group, So I think you could actually log into this app and go and do the route. So you could do it. Don't ever think you can't. Preparation, more training, more miles, bums on seats. There's no secret, is there? For someone who's just a dad, you know, the boss of my own business, which is not getting any attention at the moment. I don't know. There's no secret. Just get on the bike, ride the bike.
One of those, you just have to do it. Jump in.
Get on with it.
Feet first.
I think maybe some bigger rides leading up to it. I've entered an event prior to it. I will try and allocate a day to go and have a big day out. So yeah, there we go.
Great. Well, wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Hope it goes well. Hope you get good weather down the coast.
Thank you. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for asking the questions as well.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
And thanks for this fantastic studio.
Not a problem.
Right, well, that concludes this interview with me, which is just weird because Andrew was asking me the questions. I use my equipment in this studio, which is absolutely amazing. You'll have seen some of the tech that he's got here. So, really grateful, Andrew, for letting me use your space.
No, you're welcome.
So,
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and studio's available for podcasts. So give us a good shout out.
I will. Thank you very much. There will be details for Andrew's facility, his business, in the description below. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, which Andrew also has a podcast, his podcast will be in the description below as well. You can get in touch with him, get in touch with me through all the normal channels, and hopefully you've subscribed. Make sure you like. And we'll see you next time.